Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another Thursday. Welcome to another edition of the Activated Author Live. Shout out to everybody tuning in on YouTube, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. Appreciate all of you for joining me on all three destinations. And if you were checking the post, you saw today is a particularly special day for me. And for everybody that's been rocking with the channel for a minute, especially over the last year, hearing me talk about the Paint to Prose Playbook. Today is the day that we officially celebrate it because the book is finally available. Now we're gonna get into some of these tech challenges and bloopers that I've been dealing with, but the beautiful thing is the book is in the world now. Like it is at least digitally in people's hands. Like the book is here. So if you've been receiving free game here on YouTube and you want to learn more, you want to have the tangible game with you at all times, just go to paintoprose.com. It is there. It is available to you. You can order your paperback and your ebook versions. And like the direct aspect is what I'm doing right now. Like sometimes we gotta adapt, all right? Shout out to Miss Susie who has joined us in the chat already. Much love to you, Miss Susie. Thank you so much. Shout out to Cecilia. Love you, sis. Thank you so much for celebrating with me. Shout out to Miss Cecilia McMorris. She has been through the entire ecosystem with me. She knows what the Pain to Prose playbook entails because everything that I've included in my coaching, everything that is on my YouTube, as Dr. Myron Golden calls it, the community service content, is contained within the pages of the book. So you're getting all of the good stuff that you get on YouTube in episodic form in one place. Shout out to Cecilia. She said, let's go. Miss Susie says, glory to God. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So on that note, let me turn it around to you. Like those of you who are already in the chat, drop a win for me. Like obviously this virtual launch party is my win. Like the announcement that my book is out is a win for me. So please let me know what your win is. Like, let me know a win for you this week so we can celebrate with you as well. All right. While you guys are typing in the meantime and between time, just to give you guys a bit of a taste of what to expect this evening, I've got some awesome people coming through to chat with me, fellow authors, folks who are my coaches, folks who have supported me through the process of writing this book as well. And yeah, like we're gonna chop it up on all things authorship and what they've got going on because they've got books of their own and things that they're doing. And I love introducing you to the amazing people that I know. Like it's a huge privilege to be able to know these people. And so I want to make sure that their greatness, like you get direct access to their greatness too. And for my family, I do want to send a special shout out to them. Some of them just got back from Jamaica. So on a side note, talking about Jamaica, today is August 6th, which is officially Jamaica's Independence anniversary. So, and Jamaica is a whole senior. Jamaica's in its 60s right now. Not 60, but like in its 60s. So like silver haired, salt and pepper, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Surrounded by family. But yes, shout out to all my Jamaicans that watch this. Love y'all and much love to the nation. Like I'm definitely gonna be traveling back and forth there more often in the future, God's willing. Shout out to Miss Rosalie. Congratulations. So happy to be attending this party. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And in terms of setting expectations, you guys, the other thing that I'll be doing is dropping some questions and by all means engage in the chat because I did say I was doing giveaways and I've got 3 giveaways to do. So one is a Jamaica shirt in honor of independence. Beautiful shirt that says Irie. So that's one. And then I'm giving away one of my branded mugs. It says, words are my wings. in the exact same color as the branding for the book, The Pain to Prose Playbook. All right. So again, I encourage you, share your wins, drop your wins in the chat as well. Shout out to Miss Cecilia. She's supporting Happy Independence Day to Jamaica. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Let me check over on Instagram right quick. Interesting. Cool. So we are good now. Big up on ourselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to LDH showing up in the chat. And as I promised, I have some amazing people coming through. He is one of them. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring in my twin, my beloved, someone I am so honored to be able to call big brother, L. David Harris, man. Like, he is an author, an executive coach, just an incredible person. Like, this dude knows way more than anybody I've ever known. What's up, LDH? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Big up on itself. I was trying not to be noisy. I was about to hit buttons. I said, nope, don't do it. Just say hello.
We welcome it.
Hello. Hey.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome back. And let's show.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. Represent.
Yeah. I got my uniform on. Let's go.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. And even want to shout out to the information you got in the back there, because you and I have been chopping it up on some author stuff as well, because you recently did an update for your book, The Backbone of Leadership. So yeah, I'd love to talk that through with you. What inspired that redesign?
Well, I have been behind a lot of people for a lot of time, and a lot of really influential and powerful people. But I think this is the first time that one of them has dragged me out of the background. And I don't mean kicking and screaming, but in a way. And yeah, shout to Dr. Eric Thomas. We're going to use that PhD. And some things that I've been doing with him have pushed me to the foreground in my zone, and part of my zone of excellence. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have to turn this one up, since my man is pulling me out the background, because I often give people more than I give myself.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the short of it. Real talk. That's the short of it.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I would love to get your thoughts on something, because as you heard me talk about at the beginning, I was encountering some tech challenges in terms of getting this print version out, man. Obviously the godfather is making sure your stuff is with Ingram or Amazon. Yo, challenges with my files, yo. So I'm gonna go direct for now until I resolve that. Once I can resolve that, then it's all good. And I know you have your own publishing company. So what would you recommend to a first-time author that hits this wall? Because several of my clients did. So what solution would you recommend?
Hire somebody. I'm sorry. I just don't know no other way, because there are just too many things. There are a lot of things we can do for ourselves very simply. You want some rice and peas? Go make it. You feel me? You don't need nobody to make you no rice. You can make that. But when it comes to these things, there's a reason why there are professionals. And I know that the tools are accessible to all, but there's a good way, and there's a great way, and there's a terrible way. And one of the things that screams amateur and do it yourself is many times when we do it ourselves. When it comes on to layout and design is a whole art in of itself. Think about back in the day when you were a little girl. Both of us were little, actually, even though we have a little distance, when typesetting was a thing.
Yeah.
And so typesetting, the old school way, they used to actually take the letters in some material, a metal material, and literally space the letters out, ink them, and put your words on paper,
Yep.
right? And so a Word document or some other word processing document or some of your favorite do-it-yourself design apps have no idea how to space letters professionally. It's just going to look like a word processing app. And forget all the rest of the more complicated stuff. So that's one of the telltale. And then the font selection is whack when you try to do it yourself. So yeah, just get somebody. It's simple. Just get
I love
somebody.
it. Just get somebody. Simple. I hear you. That,
Hmm.
yeah. So that's if you're watching and listening, you're an aspiring author, take this man's advice. Hire
Yeah.
somebody. Do not
Yeah.
and I actually put that in the book, LDH, like for typesetting. I put that joint in bold. I was like, hire somebody. Do not do this by yourself. Like it's frustrating.
Okay,
Like
so
it's
I'm going to
very
break a rule. I'm going to
Mhm.
break a rule. I'm learning.
Okay.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm going to demonstrate it today. Watch this. I got a
Oh
message
snap.
today. I didn't send it to you, but I got a message today from a publishing company that I am working on a book with for
Okay.
Eric Thomas and CJ Quinney, right?
Hmm.
And the well, one of the people that's prominent basically said they want me to work with all of their authors.
Oh, good.
I'm not saying they were offering anything. I'm saying that's what they were saying because the
Hmm.
process was so smooth. And I'm like, well, the reason why the process is so smooth is because I got decades in it. And we're talking about a publisher who has 60 New York Times best-selling titles, a few of which were number one on the New York Times bestsellers list. And so it's and part of the reason why that came up was because the things that seem simple, I would send it back to them like light speed. And they're like, well, how is this dude sending this stuff back so fast? Well, because I've been doing it for a while. It's a whole long,
Experience.
a couple few decades,
Couple few.
a couple few decades. And again, it's just because what seems simple to many, you find out once you're drowning that it's not as simple as it looks. It's
That
not.
part.
So that's it. Go, be excellent at writing and then
Right.
let the other folks do what they're excellent at to get you into the public space.
Exactly. Or voice recording if writing is not your strong suit. Voice recording is a whole cheat code. You know what I mean? It'll get it done way faster.
Hmm.
A shout out to Miss Rosalie. She said, "You're the man, man." Yes, Mom. I was telling them that we call him your big son.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Big
wear that
son.
well. Like I need a hat now that says big son, her big son.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you'll get it done too, because you're source man. Like you be getting these amazing shirts and caps made. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Absolutely. So yeah, shout out to everybody that's engaging in the chat so far. As I mentioned before, please drop a win. Like what's been going on this week. And I did share in one of my shorts, LDH, something that you taught us in the mastermind, which is a win is a win. A win
Mm,
is a win. Small, big, whatever. Like just consider all of it equal. Like you got to win, use it for the momentum, and keep moving forward.
that's it.
Absolutely. Is there anything like you want our audience to know or anything you want to leave with them?
Well, let's just go with the win part because I think a lot of people are swimming upstream, at least in their own minds. And I say in your own minds because swimming is swimming.
Okay, okay.
Swimming is not drowning. It's two different things.
That's important.
Swimming is not drowning, and so there are times that we encounter challenges while we're doing the thing that we're great at, and depending on what our mindset is, we might start doubting ourselves because of the challenges. And honestly, when it's a retrospective look, like you're looking back on it like a couple of years from now, you're like, wait a minute, wait, that was hanging me up? Really? And so, in the same vein of W or win being a win, swimming is not drowning, even if you feel like you're going upstream. So, keep swimming. Like, don't stop swimming. And if you can't swim, then float. And if you can't float, then like call for help. But whatever you need to do, keep moving. And as long as you keep moving toward shore or toward wherever you're going, you cannot lose. The people who stop are the ones that lose. Because if you stop, you know you're gonna drown, right? I'm just saying.
Part.
So yeah, I have the gift of not trying to make stuff complicated. Real talk. To me, a lot of really good stuff gets lost in the philosophy of the thing. So keep moving, don't stop, and make sure it's in the direction that you intended when you set your goal.
Beautiful. Very well said, sir. Thank you so much. Ms. Rosalie giving you the love. She said, love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I will, by all means, release you to the rest of your evening. I know you have your beautiful family to get back to. And y'all show the brother some love. He just recently celebrated the 25th anniversary, I believe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. 25 years.
Yes.
I've been with one woman for more than 25 years. You know what's so dope about that? Can I just say what's so
What's
dope
up?
about that? When
What's
Simone
up?
and I were in university, there was no internet. Okay? There's no internet. I said
Wow.
university.
Right.
Okay. Bet. So no internet. So fact checking was very difficult to do. Like somebody would have to run up on you. So if I go on the internet and social media in particular and say I've been with one woman for decades, you can fact check that joint immediately.
I
Fact check
love
me.
it.
One woman. That's it. No scandal. Because Simone and
Hey,
I have decided that we're going to be together forever. And I'm grateful.
hey.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
I
Can you
love
tell?
it. I love it. Yes.
Okay, good. Very
Shout
good.
out to both of y'all, man. We love
Yeah.
y'all, like for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, love.
We love y'all. Cecilia's saying
I see
congratulations
Cecilia.
to
Hey.
you. Yep. Awesome. So appreciate you. Thank you so much for celebrating with me. Much love,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Congratulations. And I know, look, I actually, I almost said dredged up, but that's not really the right word. But I looked up and saw you on the internet, on the YouTube from like 11 years ago. This is one of those like, this is your life episodes.
That's
And,
wild.
uh-huh. And you were doing something like what you're doing now with Dr. Somebody and a bunch of teachers and educators in a room full of people. And I was like, wow, different hairstyle, different pitch of voice, because as we age, our tone changes a little bit, but the same greatness. So, yeah,
Oh, thank you.
way to continue to do what God has called you to do, and giving
Thank
giving
you.
these simple jewels that will really make a major difference in people's lives.
Thank you. I
I be
appreciate
spying
you.
on you. Hey, I be spying on you.
Appreciate it. I need the feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Take care. Miss Susie's wishing you a happy 25th. But yeah, much love, bro. All right. Take care.
Peace.
Peace. All right, y'all. I love the fade out. That is the bomb. Proof that he is a pro. Okay. L. David Harris is a professional. All right. But yeah, so I'd love to engage you guys in the chat very briefly before I bring on my next guest, who, if you've been rocking with the show for a minute, you know this next guest. This is my ride or die right here. Like day one, been in the building with me. So yeah, this next guest coming up, thebomb.com. But in the meantime, if you're an aspiring author or maybe considering a book for the first time, I'm gonna give you 4 options and put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat if this applies to you. Are you worried that 1, it's too confusing? 2, nobody would take your story seriously? 3, it's an expensive process? Or 4, the book might flop? Put one of those numbers in the chat if that's you, right? Because the beautiful thing is the book does resolve that. Let me check the comments real quick. Jessica said 2 and 4. Shout out to everybody can go 2 and 4. The beautiful thing is, like I said, the book does address that. The book does address that. Thank you, Miss Susie. By the way, y'all let me know if you can hear me in the comments, by the way. Jessica typed 2 and 4. If anybody else has got one of their answers, let me know. Oh my goodness, over on Instagram, shout out to Deja. This is my sister from the UOU Mastermind. Shout out to Deja La Artista. Please go follow her on Instagram. She is someone who helps people with their content. Like she helps people produce video content for their social media to build up their following. So shout out to Deja. Thank you so much for tuning in, sis. Love you. Love you so much. Thank you. All right, cool. And thank you, Jess, for letting me know you can hear. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, like I said, the book does address both of those things. And speaking of said book, let me just jump up in here right quick. Imposter syndrome. Not sure if anybody will take your book seriously. What if the book flops or the process is complicated? I got you. I'm going to show you my screen so you can take a look at these here pages before I get into my time with my good sis. All right, let's see. Here we go. And let me add that to the stage. Y'all let me know if y'all can see that. Confirm in the chat that y'all can see that. Because I want to read some of this directly from the pages of the book so y'all can see it. Because a lot of those questions that I shared with you and, Jessica engaged with, but yeah, some of these are addressed right here. Let me zoom in. Thank you, Miss Rosalie, for letting me know you can see. Yeah. I touched on what happens when we pause, or like all those questions are reasons why we would procrastinate or not do the book. So for one, as you saw with the nobody's going to take me seriously. So I recommend, reframe that question. Like no one can replicate the exact way you experienced your trauma or transition. Your lens and voice are what will make your book different from any others in the marketplace, not just the trauma itself. Your core values, coupled with what your target reader values most, will shape the transformation your book author offers them. That value combination will make your book stand out. So if you're worried about whether or not your book will be taken seriously, it will. Like the language you use will resonate with the people who need it. Okay. And then what if the book flops, which I know that was one of the ones you named, Jessica. Define success and failure in concrete terms before writing anything, so that the fear of failure has a concrete target instead of being a vague emotion. Like, what would failure look like for you? Are you expecting to sell a certain number of copies? Are you expecting a certain revenue number? Are you expecting a certain amount of speaking gigs? Like, define what success would look like so you can clearly define what flopping would look like. And that will give you a clear picture especially for you, Jess, because I know you're high pilot and also high flight attendant. Like casting the vision, like that is your whole thing. I know that's your love language. So casting that clear vision of what success looks like will then give way to what your idea of failure is going to look like, what the book flopping is going to look like. So do start with that and then work towards those things. For sure, for sure. Let me know if that makes sense. Thank y'all for tuning in, by the way. Shout out to Miss Susie confirming that she could see. Miss Rosalie, Cecilia, thank y'all for letting me know y'all can see. Appreciate y'all. Awesome. And shout out for the affirmation, the JRC. Appreciate you. He said it does make sense. It does make sense. Awesome. So, without further ado, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna bring in my sis, my day one, my building partner. You know what I mean? I love that she's doing the head nod too. It's so cute. Welcome y'all to Jessica Holly. Welcome to the party. It can start now because you're here. You know what I'm saying? Flight attendant here.
Okay. It's the motion party. You cannot get in. But I do drink gin.
Wow. Yay. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Thank you for being a part of being a part of the process because you've been here since before the book existed. So
Mm,
thank you so much. And thank you for going through the ecosystem with me, like going through the process and pressure testing all of the advice to make sure that everything that I was sharing and coaching with everyone else makes sense. So like, like let our folks know what your experience was, like what you're looking most forward to too. Like now the book is out, like
mm.
what's
Okay.
going through the
So
genius's mind.
So for me, I'm excited to just experience another product. Because all of your programming from the boot camp to the F5 framework to the retreat, running through the second retreat and moving into the third, like all of the processes that you came up with. Okay, shout out to moms. um all the processes that you came up with, I'm like, hey, yo, it works. I'm a fan of like if it's a plug and play, I want the plug and play to work. And a lot of times there are systems, frameworks, different things where it sound good, it sound catchy, but the information applied is what changes situations. And when you're looking at certain the stuff that they make, we don't know who they is, but the stuff that they be making, when it comes time for application, it doesn't always work, or it doesn't always work right. It doesn't always work the way that we are envisioning it. And so when we get to the end of the process, it's like, well, hey, I thought I was going to end up with this, but I don't exactly have that. So like, what's up? What is this that I ended up with? And I can honestly say through all of your programming, I've always been very excited to work my way through. I get the results that were promised. And I mean, shoot, even when I'm trying to just mind my business and shirk off my responsibilities socially to the world and keep my voice to myself, you like, no, because we publishing that. And I'm like, "Mm, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm like, oh shoot, mail gone, procrastination bully done kicked down the door. And you like, because we are writing this. And I'm like, but I already wrote it. That's not good enough. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because and I will say, like, that's been my biggest takeaway from everything that you've done so far is the way that you stayed on my head about like, oh, you only published how many so far? And you said you have how many written? And really, what you go through in the Pain to Prose book, it talks about a large portion of why I have so many manuscripts written, but the
Hmm.
manuscript ends up just sitting there because it's a handful of things that happen after you're done writing that, as LDH said, hire a professional. Somebody else needs to do it. Self-publishing is not technically self-publishing in the way that we think of it. We're thinking, oh, as long as I write the book, beginning to finish, Yeah, I'm just gonna make the book so that we get to the point where it's a physical book. You got the copy, it's like with you, and you end up with the thing. My part
Hey,
of doing this has been done for years because I'm like, okay, as the author, I wrote it, but all of the other steps after you are done writing and after you're done going over, like you edit your own draft. Once you get to your final copy as the author, there's still an editing process involved after that with a professional editor, which for me is you, of course, is yours truly. And after that, there's a typesetting process. Could you do it yourself? How long you about to be sitting there? So how much longer is it gonna take you to get each page done? And then if you got
well,
one thing wrong, and how many pages you got in your book, are you gonna go back and fix it versus hiring the typesetting professional to do so for you? Any of the extra, like as far as making sure that your book is completed with excellence, all of those little pages, all the ancillary stuff in the beginning, any of your citations, having that stuff proper at the end of your book, all of those little details that make the difference between, hey, you want to buy my book, sir, ma'am, please get away from me, because it looks like you printed that with your teeth. And
listen.
and I'm saying this as a reader and also as an author. Now, I'm not gonna act like y'all, my little perfectionism thing, it did hold us up a little bit. And that's also where the procrastination bully gave me a little swift kick in the pants so that we could go ahead and move forward and progress. But so that I was able to make sure that my flagship book was a good product, so that I could make sure that it made sense with the rest of my brand, and so that I was able to bring forth something with excellence. You definitely walked me through all of those different bumps in the road, and it was a learning process for sure. And so I can confidently say, after working with you for a number of years, for my next book, I know it won't take me as long because I have a better of idea of how long it will actually take. Even with some of our publishing woes and those things that are actually beyond and out of our control at this point.
Yeah, facts. And that's why I made sure to ask LDH about that, because some of that stuff is beyond your control. Like some of the stuff does get kind of techy with like the
Hmm.
file type, the way that each distributor converts your file once they get it. This is all like nerd stuff, y'all. Like I haven't
Hmm.
even gotten into this material on my YouTube channel, but this is stuff that you do end up encountering in your self-publishing process. Even after the editor's done and cleaned it up, you get the files back from your typesetter, like whoever you hire to do that. Like the next step is to publish a thing, like to put it, upload it to a distributor, whether that's Amazon KDP or Lulu or 48 Hour Books, because 48 Hour Books offer self-publishing. They don't only print your books, they offer self-publishing services as well. Ingram Spark, like they all have their respective systems that they use to convert your file to fit their platform. And that file gotta be right, or else they'll kick it back to you with the errors. That happened with this one, the Pain to Prose Playbook. I was trying to upload that joint to KDP. KDP was like, "Yeah, there are these couple of
Yep.
errors," and then when I looked in the preview thing, just because they'll give you the opportunity to look at it, and then they show you where the errors are. Just incidentally, like between the errors, it was only two, but even between the two errors, the way they had the Kindle file, like some of my headings went gnarly. It wasn't like, and I submitted a PDF, by the way, so I wanted the formatting to be locked in. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still need to do some more research then. That's what this means.
Hmm.
So direct for now. Like go to painttoprose.com if you want this version of the book as I intended it. Get the digital version of the book as intended. But yeah, like, and this is, you guys are seeing in real time watching through me. Sometimes authors do have to pivot. Sometimes we do have to change some of our deadlines, change some of our approaches, even with us setting our book's purpose, what we want our book to do. In my case, my book will be a flagship. It's what the business will be built around to get speaking engagements and to lead to other repurposed launches. So I'll be launching an audiobook eventually. Like that's going to be its own separate launch. Um, different speaking series and different things in the community because I do have an activated author community, which Jessica's a part of. But yeah, this is all stuff that you encounter as an author, and I'm sharing this with you who's watching and listening, so that you know the world doesn't end. Like Jessica's, but she just showed you the book, like it came out. You know what I'm saying? Despite everything she dealt with Ingram Spark, the book is now out. Like she has the hardcover with the dust jacket and everything. So it is still possible. Like, don't let what I'm sharing with you dissuade you from going through with the thing. Because as you heard Jessica say, procrastination bully's still here, y'all. Like the show pivoted, but the bully is still here with the best of intentions for you, especially when it comes to your book. Shout out to Miss Susie. She loved what you said. Not printed with your teeth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of which, I forgot what it was that you said that made me think of that when talking about the like the quality of your book and some of the errors and things. Sometimes in printing, depending on who prints your book, that's going to determine the quality of the print as well. Because I
Yes.
definitely noticed the difference between and shout out to everybody who's ordered the book so far. But according to my perfectionism, which who asked me? Nobody asked me. But I noticed a difference in the way that the spine of my book showed up when it was ordered directly from the publisher versus when it was fulfilled by Amazon. And that bothered me. And the reason why it
Yeah.
bothered me is because when I'm like, no, it looks like you printed that with your teeth. Ew, get it away from me. I don't want my book to look like ew, get it away from you. And so that was something that I'm like, I have painstakingly, like, look at this, y'all. Look at this. It is off
Mm-hmm.
centered my soul. This is the
Mm-hmm.
copy that I carry around with me because I won't sign it and give it to anybody because I am upset about that little minuscule thing and made
It's
sure
important.
to order copies directly from the publisher because the very same thing that I will say ill for somebody else, that means it's ill for me too. And I very much wanted to make sure that the products that people were getting looked a certain way, that it presented a certain way. And I'm like, y'all got a lot of nerve after the fire and high water that I went through to painstakingly move pieces of my cover and cover jacket millimeter by millimeter, zooming in on 500. And then y'all printed it like this?
That part.
Anger, okay? But that's just another one of those like little tidbits to know. And part of what is in the learning process as you are working through being an author and setting your timeline because that was something that we 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 couldn't have controlled for that until it
That
happened. It's like, ooh, well, now we know if I am planning a launch party, I'm not KDP and nothing according to my standard and what I would like for myself. And I
that
also feel
part.
like it's changed because when I did publish on KDP, and I ordered a bulk of books, I felt like all of them they were pretty much uniform. And with some of the recent changes, I'm like, oh, and that's right, mom. We maintain our standards, no ifs, ands, or buts at all. And the standard is the standard. And that's something that you get to decide for yourself and what you want your book to be presented as, what you want it to look like. But I will, of course, caution against that analysis paralysis. But let's not get confused. Don't let good enough and have you releasing some mess. Okay. So that's just look, that's my 2 cents on it. You feel me?
Hey, a very wise 2 cents because it's coming from experience. Like it's very interesting and unfortunate because you're not the only author that has experienced that with KDP.
Mhm.
There was actually a post that I had seen on LinkedIn, I want to say, where the lady actually took a picture of several book spines on her bookshelf to point out exactly what you were talking about. Like,
Mhm.
these are actually amazing books, but because these authors used different self-publishing services, they ended up with different printed results. Like when they got their covers, like one had a spine similar to yours, where the name was towards the top of the spine.
Mhm.
Somebody else had theirs towards the bottom of the spine. Like it was just like, and then for some KDP books, which I don't understand, if the spine is below a certain millimeter or whatever, like they don't print anything on it. Even though technically
Mhm.
there is room for text to fit, it might be small, but there is room. But they have their boundary. Like after a certain thing, like they just don't print anything on the spine. Our sister Afia, her journal, the spine doesn't have anything written on it, as
Mhm.
dope as that journal is. And what's interesting is that the journal is a cream color. So if you put that between books that are similar colors, you lose it. So it's, and I do believe she went through KDP with hers. So yeah, like KDP is infamous, y'all, for not being great at hardcover books. I think I talked about it like several weeks ago. But yeah, for your hardcovers, go someplace else.
Yeah, you
As
got to know
you know,
your
JR put
options.
here, 48-hour books. If you want a bulk, 48-hour books. I will say, if you're going 48-hour books, have your budget ready. Have your budget ready.
The
It's
sweet spot is in ordering in bulk. It is in
yep.
ordering in bulk for sure. And another thing that I wanted to point out to everybody, when you're doing pre-sales, I know we like to put a date on it. You can look, yeah, don't clip me at all them times that I'm like, yeah, put a date on it, guys. Don't clip me from my pod saying that. This is not one of those times where you're gonna put a date on it and stick to it, only because of all of the things that can happen during the publishing process of actually getting your book printed and in your hand and making sure that it is exactly as you want it when you release it to everyone else, release it to the world. When you're doing your pre-sales, don't make no promises. And for those of you who are buying books on pre-sale, it literally says pre-sale on there. Stop harassing us authors about when is it gonna come out. We're working as fast as we can. And sometimes it's not even as fast as we can. We waiting just like you waiting on an update, on a tracking number, on a delivery. Speaking of which, I have to check on some of those today because look, just like I was waiting for a bulk of my books, if I'm sending you a good looking one, a nice one, not the Amazon version of it. Because look, Amazon be serving the Temu version of my book now, and I feel a type of way. The interior and the words, yes, it's still the same. So if the aesthetics don't matter to you, you can go ahead and get the lesson in 2 days. However, the version that I would like for you to have with the lessons and the aesthetics, at this point, it takes about 3 weeks when coming directly from the publisher, which is why I
Does.
went ahead and bit the bullet and got a giant bulk order so that I can make sure that as I'm distributing copies of my own book, that it is the version, the copy with the inside and the outside looking the way that I want it to when you get
Amen. You got your amen corner. Shout out to Miss Rosalie. She's like, school them. School them.
it.
Miss Susie is rolling. Okay. You have her rolling over there. She's I'm so done.
Look, it's when I am the most serious that y'all be cracking up, and I'm like, look, no, I am so serious about this stuff because the nerve, okay? All of these checks and
Absolutely.
the different millimeters and stuff, the hoops that they have us jumping through, you guys just don't know. We have done all of our work, done it well, done it with excellence, possibly even phenomenally. However, the technology gonna be technology, and sometimes the folks that you hire, they ain't even get the file type right. And sometimes they did do their job right. And when you upload the file that they sent to you and you double check and triple check, you will still see that some things are not as intended or not as they should be, which that does make a difference. And sometimes you do want to, as an author, you stop and don't just mush forward and say, oh, well, good enough. You can read it. And again, if I would leave your stuff on the shelf because ill, or I would want my money back for an ebook because ill, that's not what we want to send out to you guys, you know? So Take it easy on us authors and authors. Make sure that you have grace with yourself. Take it easy on yourself when publishing is taking longer than what you anticipated. Because even amongst the author activation community, back to back to back, we've already been pre-warned by multiple releases during this year of what the delays look like in releasing books. And even with us accounting for the delays that are experienced with publishing, we're 3 or 4 books in among the author activation group, with releases coming out, it seems about every other month since the author activation weekend. Every other month there's been a book release happening, and as a result of author activation weekend, okay, shameless plug. So make sure you go over to the site, myauthorweekend.com, and
Yep.
go ahead and click that button so that you can reserve your spot at the next author activation weekend. But since that weekend this spring, every other month we've had a book release, and we've already known about the challenges that were to be endured, and we made the workarounds and everything else. But again, some of these things are out of your control. So your pre-sale is your pre-sale. It takes as long as it takes, because even
Come
if you are
on.
doing every single thing right, even if you were putting in 120% worth of effort, it takes as long as it takes. And as long as you are doing everything within your power to make sure that those books get delivered to those who have input their pre-sale, it gets there when it gets there. I've waited for a New York Times bestseller pre-sale book from April until September. The book is complete and ready when it's complete and ready.
I love it. I love it. Channeling the procrastination bully. I heard that. I was like, all right, all right. I love it. So tell our audience where they can find you and what you've got coming up, because I know you've got something coming up soon.
Yes, you can find your copy of Everybody Can't Go, the book that became the brand. You can get that at www.everybodycan'tgo, the number 2.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Everybody Can't Go Convos Pod. And you can also find me on YouTube. Just search up Everybody Can't Go Convos Pod. And right now, we are counting down the days. We have about 9 days left before the Reset Method program starts. We have a 30-day program where we're focusing on reset and realigning. And so, if you have fallen off your goals, think you've gotten a little bit sidetracked, we're a bit past that mid year mark, there is still time to accomplish your goals for this year. So head over to reset.everybodycg.com so that you can sign up and get your spot in the Reset Method program.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Miss Susie and Miss Rosalie for the love. So proud of all the authors who have published their books. Facts. Like I'm super proud of all of our activated authors, man. Like this is thebomb.com. And for you watching and listening, if you want in on the community, join me through one of these efforts. Like you can order your copy of the Pain to Prose Playbook because the link for the community is in the book. So once you order the book, you'll be able to get access to the community. If you want to join me for the upcoming Truth to Transformation Book Boot Camp, September 1st, it's 21 days. Like we're implementing everything that's in the book over the course of 21 days, and we fit it in to the cracks of your week because I know how busy you are. But the beautiful thing that you heard from Jessica, everybody that's been through this framework, they now have books coming out within months. You know what I mean? Like it is possible. She told everybody, like, it is possible. It is absolutely possible to have your book completed in short order. So if you're interested, go to bootcamp.melissathomas.co/sign up. That's another way to be able to get into the activated author community. Okay. And then, of course, you heard Jessica talk about our author activation weekend. That next one is coming up in October. You heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. It's coming up in October. The next one is in October in Orlando, Florida, bringing it back around to Orlando. So, yes, one of those three things. And let me put up that site because Jessica referenced it before, myauthorweekend.com, if you're interested in that one. Okay. So those are the ways that you can enter into the community. The easiest one The most accessible one is the book, which you see scrolling across the bottom, paintoprose.com. All right. Paintoprose.com.
And you know I'm extra.
Appreciate you.
I'm always giving away something. And I always do it on live, so y'all can't tell me no. So if you sign
What's
up
up?
for Author Activation Weekend, you get a free Pain to Prose playbook. Ain't even mine to give away, but I just did it.
No, but that makes sense though. If you signing up for the especially the VIP ticket, I encourage people to go VIP. You would definitely get a copy of the Pain to Pros playbook if you're coming, because this one, unlike the last two, there is no virtual option on the October one, y'all. Like we want to see
Get
you
in
in
the
the
room.
building. We want you
Hmm.
in the room. Like there is power to being in the room. So if you are interested in something like that, myauthorweekend.com, get your VIP ticket so we can see you in the room, and that way you get two for one. You get the book and the in-person experience, which nothing compares to it. Nothing compares to
Hmm.
it.
Get in the room, get that work. Because when you get that work, your book gonna come out.
Amen. You hear what I'm saying? Amen. All right, Jess, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you. Much
See
love.
ya.
Peace. Yep. All right, y'all. I have another guest. I haven't been seeing too many wins in the comments though, but I love it. Cecilia's laughing. Loves and laughs. Love it. So, my next guest is someone who you guys have met before. He's been through the author activation weekends and he was one of my coaching clients. So, 7 months later, you know what I mean? His book is now out. So, without further ado, let me find out whenever he can get back on camera. But the gentleman's name is David Nesbitt Jr., otherwise known as JR. But yeah, like he was one of the first ones I had on here who was generous enough to share his experience. So welcome back, bro. Let me bring you on in. There we go.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, man. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you.
Always,
Yeah,
always,
man.
always, always.
So you dropped something in the private chat. Please let these folks know where you are with your books right now.
So I did the 48-hour thing,
Hmm.
and out of 125, I'm got 45 left in
Wow.
under 30 days.
Congratulations. Beep, 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 beep.
So, but it's the method though. The method to the madness is just feet to the streets. It's
Yeah,
just and put it in everybody's hand. Um, Most of everybody that pretty much got a book, I did 30 pre-orders. No, 30,
nice.
yeah, 31. 31 pre-orders.
Nice.
So
Congrats.
I was like, okay, that pre-order method what just spoke about, yeah, 31 pre-orders, yeah. So you have to keep notes. You got to take notes. You got to keep up with everybody. But that pre-order method does work. It's been pretty good, um, and it's always challenging to do the thing that you're afraid to do and put it in people's face. So,
Yeah.
like, I would say, with it's better for me. It's better for the pre-order method, but go with 48-hour books and like they get it down to the T. So like if you did have a jacket on a hard copy, 48-hour books is gonna get you. And then they hit you with the little perks, the upsell stuff. So like you said, you gotta have your money right for that. But the key on the play with the pre-orders is get enough money or enough pre-orders for whatever your cost of your book is, get a little bit over that. So if it
Mm.
takes 30 copies, get 40
Mm.
so that you can, you know, you'll have money on the back end for when the product does come in because there's other things that you don't like look at. And that's just such as when you got to mail them off. Like there's another thing where a lot of people go to ship their books off and they do just the ground shipping. But
Yeah.
that's the wrong way to do it. You have to say media shipping.
Okay.
And what media shipping is, it's like it's you go with your own envelope, just go get it at Walmart, Dollar Tree, whatever. Um, and it's $4.39.
Okay.
If you get an account online and you got the little printer, or you can set it up, if you do it online and get the QR code, you'll pay $2.39.
Mm.
So all you have to do is just go to the mail place, show them the QR code, they'll scan it, pull it up, slap it on the label, it's gone, but it's already been paid for.
Wow.
And you can ship out. So the extra money that you actually made up for with the 40 copies, you got shipping money, and then you got money to get the actual, what do you call it, the shipping package label things that you want to put it in or ship it out to.
Thank you for that. Like that was some good game, y'all. Like run this one back and take notes right there. Like you just
Is you
gave
just
y'all
learn
some.
it. You just learn it
Yeah,
when you're going through it. And like I said, you don't know it
exactly.
till you go through it, though. And don't be afraid to talk about it. I mean, that's another thing, talking about it. And I would say that people don't know what you don't tell them. As well as one thing that I've done is that I'll say yesterday, um, I had just shipped out the rest of my books,
Mhm.
and then I then did some, like, needed some more packets, and I had to keep count of how many I sent out. But also another thing, when they give you this printer, when they print out the receipt, print and email the receipt to yourself,
That, yeah,
because certain people can say that they don't have their copy, but you got the printed thing, and insurance is up to $100. So just either insurance it out, collect the money, just put it in a small order, and it'll come to you. Um, as well as the way that 48-hour books works is that 7 days, if you have a particular date, say you said you got something coming out on, what's that, next week, like the 8th or the 9th, you have to do it within 3 days prior to, so that it gives them 5 to 7 business days, or 5 to 10 business days prior to the day that you want it. So that's
exactly.
another thing to just take into consideration when doing it. And honestly, like, we had worked on the manuscript, and it, kind of messed it up a little bit, but I fixed it a little bit. But everybody is meticulous about the manuscript. I'm going through it with KDP right now, but that
See,
which which they don't like the manuscript that 48 Hours book has, or that the one that I kind of,
exactly.
thank you. But then, and I just looked at it, in the 48-hour books, they use 82 pages to make my book. KDP used 93. And what they tell you in KDP is that if you do have blank pages that is supposed to start another chapter, they count that as a page, and they will print it just as is. They will use low grade paper. They will use low grade, um, uh, like covers and different things of that nature, because the nature of the game is that they want to get your book out there, but at the cheapest price possible.
Yeah.
Um, they also, depending on the price point of your book, you have to know that you are not going to make that money that you put your book at. So my book is at $24.99, so $25. I'm only making
Uh,
$12 off of that book.
oh yeah, 70% royalties. Yep.
Yep. And yeah, it's just the gist of it. And let me see, anything else I learned. Um, I would just say nothing but God at this point.
Facts.
Um, I did I ran into a slight hiccup on selling some books that I thought that needed to be sold, And God told me that instead of asking, you gotta be humble enough to just let him work. And a guy read the cover. He said, just because I read the introduction, I'm buying it. And then put the
Nice.
$25 down. And then his boss, I got in touch, got to meet, and I take pictures, like all my pictures on Facebook and stuff like that. But I got to meet the CEO, and he went to say, how can I pay you for a book? And he didn't just buy one. He bought
I like
four.
it.
He didn't just
Yeah.
buy four. He bought 8. He just kept,
Yeah.
and
That's
it was just
good.
like, and so it made it good though. Like, but things happen, right?
Yep.
And so that's the gist. I say, keep putting it in people's face. Don't be afraid to talk about your book. Also, nobody knows what you've been through the book, but also just hit the pain points. Learn what you know. Learn what they don't know, so that you know how to sell it to them and pitch it to them. Because, like you said in recent, you can't come to a person with an Amazon book as such and say, buy my book, because they don't know you from a wet can of paint. But what you can do though, is get your opinion. Hey, I got an idea, or I wrote this book, but I'm stuck between X, Y, and Z, and they'll give you their feedback. I had a pastor come for me too, by the way, but he was
That's a whole other
right.
whole other episode.
I was just like, sir. He was like, is it
Yeah.
biblical? I said, good day. Good
It's
day.
all good. Read it. That would be my answer. Like, read it.
Yeah,
You tell me, read it.
but that was it. And I was like, read the back. He was like, yeah, but is it biblical? And I was like, good day.
Yeah.
Good day. Because it's not for you.
There's that.
And I also had
Yeah.
the wake up call of shocking most people. And believe it or not, more women purchased
Yeah.
than
I
men.
can believe that.
That was a shocker.
No, I can believe that.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. So I
Definitely.
definitely appreciate you sharing all of these lessons and,
Mm.
joining me on tonight's celebration. We'll definitely have you back on the show a few weeks from now, just to track your progress, like see where else you've gone. I know you were pursuing some speaking opportunities, so I'd love to get
Yeah,
a follow up on that.
I gotta lock that in, because that's coming
Yeah.
up in September.
Yep.
I'm
So
nervous as a heck, but it's all good. I have to get
reframe
ready.
it to excited.
Huh?
Reframe it to excited.
Frame it too
Reframe
excited.
the word from nervous to excited, because it's the same physiological response, but
Right.
excited puts the anticipation in the positive sense, like you're expecting something good.
Of course, always. And
Yeah.
then that's the thing too. Like, you never know what you're gonna get when you write your first book. And I've had so many people, like, the comments about to go crazy.
Good.
As soon as this KDP thing gets together, it's gonna go crazy. So
Awesome. So let people know where they can find you and where they can order the book.
they can order the book. Go to Elevate with JR on IG, and the link is in the bio, as well as a new YouTube page will be coming up. So then you'll be able to find Elevate with JR on YouTube, and so you'll get tidbits there as far as to moving forward. And everybody's now out of the 60 certain copies left. I mean, that I've sold. Everybody's asking for a part 2, and I'm not too sure of how to do that, but of course, that's why you got to go to authors activation and get motivated and get stimulated.
Amen. Well said. I appreciate you, JR. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me tonight.
You listen. You are a blessing to the author world.
Thank you.
I just want to let everybody know, and I keep shouting you out. Also,
Mhm.
they like the dedication. I don't know if many people got an up. Well, I probably need to post it. That's what matter of fact, I'm posting that. I'm
Look at
posting
that.
that on. I'm posting that
Cool.
because they're looking for you.
Oh, awesome.
I keep telling
Cool.
them LinkedIn, but everybody, if it's
Yeah,
not scannable,
we'll get them together.
yes, ma'am.
You just point them here. Point them to YouTube because even if they don't, even if they're not on LinkedIn, they're definitely on YouTube.
Okay, definitely, definitely,
Cool.
definitely.
Appreciate you. Have a good one. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, thank you for rocking with me. Those of you who are still here, the party continues. I am super, super honored for my next guest that is here, especially because like he's had a full work day and is finally prepped and waiting. And I'm super excited for him as well because he has a book coming out, book number 2, ladies and gentlemen, Yogi Mueller. Thank you so much for joining me, Yogi.
My
Welcome.
absolute pleasure. I'm sorry I couldn't have popped in earlier, but
No,
I caught it just in time for your last guest to say you are a blessing, and
no,
I can't
thank
think
you.
of a better moniker for you, Melissa, for the work that you
Oh,
do and the passion, and it's an honor to be here.
appreciate you. So yeah, I just want to like give you your flowers because the I was so excited when I saw that book number 2 was coming. I was like, he just finished promoting the first one. I was so excited. I was like, wow, okay, this is great. So please, like, tell our audience about Leadership Fuel. Like, what can they expect from that one?
So I will tell you, it was a complete surprise. You never know where you're going to find inspiration, right? But you always have to be ready for it because you never know. And I was actually writing a whole other book. I was about 2/3 of the way of a second book. And a former colleague texts me, says, "Hey," he says, "I got to go into this meeting with my team." And I have no idea what to talk about. I need to talk about, I'm going to throw critical thinking. I need to have some, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what, help me. Is there a book out there? I said, "No, but I'm stealing that." And he says, "It's yours." And that was 9 months ago that he gave me that text. And that's where Leadership Fuel came from. It
Wow.
was a spark of inspiration. And so what it is, it's not a book like my first one. It's not a narrative read. It's not stories. It's a
Mhm.
resource guide, and it has 366 sparks, which are original quotes or famous quotes from everybody from Obama to Yoda to Dumbledore to
I love it.
you know, uh, Ingrid Bergman, I think, might be in there. I don't know. There's 366 of them. And it has to do with leadership. And then there's a reflection, an application, and then 2 discussion questions. So you can either do it individually and be inspired individually, or you can bring it to your team and generate discussions around the team. Now, each spark also is divided into 20 different leadership categories. And so each
Wow.
spark has 3 different categories. So if you want to do one a day for leap year, you can. Or if you have to talk to your team about problem solving or accountability, then all you do is you go to the back of the book, you look up accountability, and it lists all the sparks that have to do with accountability, and you go right to that one there. So it's I want it. Here's
Index.
the author copy. I want it on everybody's desk. I want it highlighted. I want it dog-eared. I want post-it notes hanging out of it, and I want one on every desk because I think it's going to be a great tool for everybody.
Absolutely. Y'all, I got my advanced copy, so I'm reading through it. Oh my goodness. Like, yeah. So I'm so super excited for you, especially since like you're already gaining momentum in speaking through the first book, The Great Slapping, which was like I was so proud just watching that trajectory and like seeing your speaking slate for 2026. I think you just did one. I think it was Sherm that had
Yeah,
their thing in Orlando, and I was like,
yeah,
"What?"
35,000 people. Now they all didn't come to my session, but I had a
Yeah,
good number of people. So it's nice, right? And I think you know this, and your audience knows this, that and your last guest was hinting at it. You don't write books to make money because
no,
you go broke, right? But you use it as they open doors, they open tool,
yeah,
they're a tool. They give you credibility. You get to put the A word in your LinkedIn profile. You get to put the author word in your resume, and that gives credence, that gives gravitas to what you do. And it's addictive, Melissa. You know, I have a children's book coming out at the end of September too. I know, right? It's like, who would have thought that this would have been my path 3 years ago? But it's, you know, when the inspiration hits and the stuff is flowing, you gotta respond.
Exactly. Exactly. That was a whole gem right there for you watching and listening. Like, when the inspiration hits, you got to respond. You got to respond. Even if it's something as simple as voice recording it in your phone so you don't forget it.
Oh,
because I think we've all been guilty of getting those ideas and then we're like, oh, I'll write it down later, because you might be in the middle of something. You might be on the job, you might be driving and can't write or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll write it later. Or I actually included this in my book, Yogi. I said, don't waste your showers. Like, I have a whole subsection on that, because I'm like, carry the phone with you into the bathroom, not into the shower, safety first, but carry the phone with you into the bathroom, so that when you get a divine download, as soon as you're out the shower, grab the phone, voice record it, like capture it in a device. So
I may or may not do my better thinking in the bathroom. So I think that's not a. I need to be better when you're woken up in the middle of the night with an idea. I've been there, right? Where you're like, oh yeah, and then I remember it tomorrow morning. No, it's gone. It's flittered away to the ethereal ages and never to be seen again. So. Yeah. I need to be better at that. What was your inspiration for this book, by the way? I don't think you and I have talked about that. I'm going to interview you for a second. So,
hey, I love it. I appreciate it.
What was the kernel of inspiration for this book?
Believe it or not, originally it started out as something completely different, similar to your. You were working on a completely different book. So this book was intended to be a productivity book, since that was what the YouTube channel originally started as. You know, the whole Getting the Win show thing. So it was originally going to be a productivity book. And then when I got the divine download to pivot to authorship, it was like, okay, just take what you were already working on and then make the information more specific. Still apply the productivity stuff, because there are reasons why authors procrastinate. So now just touch on those specific pain points. And I alluded to it shortly before you jumped on, but there's usually 4 to 6 reasons, right? It's either who's going to take my book seriously? What if my book flops? You and I just touched on that. Like, you don't write books to get rich. You know what I mean? And even if you want your book to be successful, define what that success looks like. You know, what if people think I'm an imposter or don't know what I'm talking about? The process seems complicated, or the process seems expensive. Like, usually it's one of those things. And the book addresses all of those things head on. And then I provide a repeatable system, like a repeatable framework called the F5 framework, that they can use. As long as it's nonfiction, they can use that framework for every single book in the future. And then some pieces you can apply even to fiction. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, and by the way, tell your listening audience, I have your book and I'm looking forward to diving into it as well. But okay, so I had a conversation with somebody today that, and I think you and I are 2 peas in a pod on this one, because once we have a book under our belt, you want everybody to be able to have that voice. Yeah. Right? It's weird. Yeah. It's like, I was able to take all the crap that was up here and get it on paper. And you're, the first time you hold your book, it is transformative, right?
Yes.
When you physically hold the book, you open up that box, you know, the angels come out and the dove flies down, you know, and that whole thing. And it changes you, because you're like, I did this, right? And so if somebody says, hey, I've been thinking about writing a book, I'm like, what do you need? What do you need?
Exactly.
I do look at those 5 things, right? Because that's one of the big roadblocks that people have. And I sit there and check off those boxes, because there really isn't the barrier. You hinted it. The barrier is this. It's your own fear.
Yep.
And I want people to have that opportunity, even if they haven't even said a book, but I know they're a deep thinker. They have some good ideas. I'm like, you ever thought about writing a book? almost like selling timeshare now, or like Amway. I'm like, have you ever thought about writing a book? Is that, I don't charge. I should monetize this, but I'm a mentor at heart. You know this, and so
Yeah,
if I can help you tell your story and create a legacy or do something like that, then I'm like, then I did something good for them.
absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Well said. Please let our audience know where they can find the first book and the new one. Like, where can they connect with you?
The Great Slapping is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, the whole thing. Leadership Fuel comes out August 19th, and that will be available at all your outlets, hopefully in stores too. I've done some things to hopefully get it in the stores. You can also go to yogimueller.com, and all the information will be there. But I wish you the best of luck, Melissa, in your endeavors, and keep being an evangelist, because it's awesome what you do, and people are responding. It sounds your previous guest said you got a whole bevy of fans asking for you. So just keep that up, man. That's fantastic.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Yogi. Thanks for coming through.
My
Take
pleasure.
care.
Congratulations. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, like these are the awesome people that I have access to. So it is my honor to share all of them with you. You know what I mean? Like, the greatest pleasure in the world. Let me grab one of these other comments, by the way. I didn't want to show that. Shout out again to JR for coming through and for dropping those reality nuggets, man. Like, self-publishing, I'll put that in quotes, is an entire process. It is an entire process. And you don't, I I would not advise you go through that alone. Okay. I would advise that you not go through that alone. So by all means, as you can see, the link on the bottom there, scrolling across the screen, paintoprose.com if you want to order your copy of the book today. If you want to join the 21-day boot camp, like, the boot camp is the best way to do it, because you'll be working on your book in community. It's implementation in community. So go to bootcamp.melissathomas.co/sign up if you're interested in that. And here's, in case you're still wondering, should you bother or why you should bother? Here's the beautiful thing about the book boot camp, the Pain to Prose playbook, and of course the author activation weekend. You actually acquire two things that you can take with you for the rest of your life. One, once you're an author, you have officially acquired the skill of authorship. Writing a book and publishing it is an entire skill. Once you've learned it, you can repeat it for the rest of your life. That's not just giving you a fish, I'm teaching you how to fish. That's number one. Number two is emotional intelligence and emotional awareness. We focus on that. Jessica Holly, my colleague Candace Mackey, like all of us, we prioritize helping you gain emotional intelligence and self-awareness, because that helps you not only reframe the trauma or the transition, like, you'll be able to look at those things in a new way that makes you feel empowered and more at peace. Once you develop the skill of self-awareness, you can apply that to the rest of your life and to everybody else. We use the flight assessment. Shout out to E.T., the hip hop preacher. And using the flight assessment, not only do you become more self-aware, that's one thing, like understanding your own personality, your own behavior style, that's one skill. Self-awareness is its own skill. Emotional intelligence is being able to not only be self-aware, but know how other people are experiencing you, and being able to read the room much faster. You get both of those skills when you go through the Pain to Prose book bootcamp or buy the Pain to Prose playbook. That is, like, I can't frame it any better than that. Like, being able to arm you with two powerful skills that you'll carry for the rest of your life. There's no greater buildup than that in one book. Okay. Shout out to Jessica. She said, teach you to fish, hashtag bars. Love you, sis. Yeah, and you're instrumental in that, Jessica, like, for real. You are instrumental in that. Shout out to JR. He said, preach. Yes. Yeah, and you guys heard Yogi talk about it. Like once he got done with the first book, The Great Slapping, now he wants to share that skill with everybody that wants to write a book. And it is addictive, y'all. Like once you know how to do it, you anybody that talks to you about it, you'll want to share it with them. And at the very least, having a book and people knowing you're an author is going to attract those people to you because they're going to have those questions. So usually when somebody writes a book and they publish it, that opens up an entirely new revenue stream for them. They can now teach other people how to write books simply because they authored one. So that's another thing. Not only do you have a revenue stream once you become an author, meaning your specific book as a revenue stream, it opens up two revenue streams: the book itself and your ability to teach other people how to publish and be an author. If you've ever considered writing a book before, let let this be the reason why you finally step on the gas and go forward and get it done. So order your copy of the book today, painttoprose.com. Come to the boot camp and ultimately join the author activation weekend that is happening in October. Like I said, y'all heard it here first. I haven't announced it anyplace else yet, but that will be in Orlando. It'll be the last weekend in October. So yes, if you're a huge Halloween fan, I don't know, this might be the better alternative. Because again, you're gaining two revenue streams and two new life skills versus spending a bunch of money on candy and running around in costume. I don't know. Not to trivialize it, but just letting you know one kind of outweighs the other in my personal opinion. Again, no shade or anything like that. Love you guys. Very quickly, I did promise some giveaways. So let me know in the comments for those who are still rocking with me. I'm going to ask a couple of questions and see who remembers what from our conversations. What was that one thing? And please type your answers in the chat. I'll be looking. What was that one thing that that Jessica said about self-published books? How does she say the self-published books look, especially from KDP? I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with your mouth, which ain't pleasant. But type that in the chat if you remember. Type it in the comments if you remember that. And like I said, I have 3 prizes. And this is how we're wrapping up. I have 3 prizes to give away. The Jamaica shirt in honor of Jamaica's independence today. My Words Are My Wings book, or my Words Are My Wings mug. And then the third gift is a free VIP spot in the boot camp, the Truth to Transformation book boot camp. Gus got a couple of comments. Let me see these. He said biting teeth. I think he meant biting teeth. And then trash was something she did say. Like that, trash was something she did say. Cool. So for you, JR, I'll send you the mug because the shirt is a specific size. I might have to send you a slightly different thing, Miss Susie, because this is a specific size. But I got y'all. I got both of y'all. And Miss Susie, by the way, let me know if you're interested in being an author, because the boot camp ticket could be yours. So let me know if you're interested in that. By all means, like chime in the chat if you're interested in something like that. But yeah, the other question I'll run by y'all as we wrap up. Okay. What is the platform that we essentially just warned y'all against? Like between JR, Jessica, and me, what was the one platform that we're kind of warning y'all maybe not to use? Because we've all encountered tech issues with it. If you remember that, put that in the comments. This is the beauty of being an author, man. Like you learn stuff by doing. All right. So JR did put the answer, but let me see if one other person gets it. Shout out to Miss Susie. She did answer the question correctly. Let me check over our IG because I know we got folks watching on IG as well. Okay, cool. All right, so for now, it'll be JR and Miss Susie as our two big winners. Thank both of you so much. Thank all of you for engaging in the chat tonight. Thank all of you for joining me for the celebration. And shout out to all of my advanced readers. So like Yogi, Jessica, like she's gonna be reading and leaving her feedback on the book. And shout out to Cecilia, who was in the chat. She was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still watching, but like she's got her advanced copy. And fun fact, y'all, I had the honor of having national best-selling author and coach Mignon Francois write the foreword to my book. I was so overjoyed at that because I know how very busy that woman is. And she was gracious enough to provide the foreword for the book. So if for no other reason, just cop the book for the foreword. Like if you ever need inspiration to go forward on writing your book and why writing your book is so powerful, get the book just for the foreword. Like Mignon did such a good job in less than 2 pages. Like she was brief with it because she's a wonderful author herself. Shout out to you, JR. No problem. Much love to you. Much love to you. So I want to close out the night with one last video, y'all. One last thing I want to show y'all. Just in case you're curious about the boot camp, author activation weekend, any of that sort of thing, what it entails, I want to share our sister with you guys, the one and only Candace Johnson Mackey. She participated in the author activation weekend, and I want to share with you guys what she had to say about her experience with it, so you have an idea of what to expect. Thank you so much, Miss Susie. I appreciate you. You deserve every good and perfect gift. Thank you. Yeah, so in case you're curious about author activation weekend or what to expect in the boot camp, like Candace is gonna show y'all, like she kept it real. So let me share my screen with you guys so you can take a look at this. Let's see. Here we go. All right. And here is the video. So we'll wrap up with this last video so you guys can get an idea, and then I'll release it to your evening. Thank you so much for rocking with me for 90 minutes. I love y'all. Appreciate you.
Takeaways from the author activation weekend is follow the process. Melissa T has a very well laid out F5 format that takes you through topic to actually building, and it was fantastic. I was resistant for a long time. Follow the process.
What was the single best piece of advice you received at the author activation week?
The single best piece of information that I received at the author activation weekend is to just trust the process. Again, right? Stay where your feet are planted. Don't try to predict the future. Just stay exactly where you are. Finish that part of the program, then be able to move to the next best step.
How has the author activation weekend changed your approach to writing?
The author activation weekend has changed my approach to writing by not having me lean on like my own knowledge. I have been a good writer in corporate environments. I was a great writer in college, but writing a book is a whole different process. And you need someone who's been down that path, has a proven platform and framework for getting it done. And literally what she has in place takes you from beginning to completion. Like it was fantastic.
Describe the overall atmosphere and community during the author activation.
Mm-hmm. The atmosphere and the community here have been top notch and absolutely unexpected and phenomenal. Not only are you here with other individuals that are essentially in your same place, even if someone was a author previously, they're still going through the process again, much like when you're a mom and you're ready to have your second child. But knowing that you've got individuals that are in the exact same place with you, that are asking the same questions and are learning from where you are, helps as well. The phenomenal part, the icing on the cake, is that Melissa shares her family with you. Those individuals create such a loving, nurturing, relaxing environment where you're able to forget the troubles at home, concentrate on just being a whole and complete person where you are, relaxing and letting that story come through you, sleeping well at night, eating really good food, sharing great stories. It was completely unexpected and exactly what I needed. It was truly a retreat with an accomplished outcome.
What would you tell someone who was considering buying a ticket to the author activation next year?
I'm already putting my money together. So if I was talking to someone that was considering purchasing their ticket for the 2027 Author Activation Weekend, I would say, go ahead and get those funds together now. Block your calendar, because I will be there ready to write my second book. And it really is, it's two gifts in one. Actually, it's more gifts than that. You get the gift of belief. You get the gift of community. You get the gift of beginning and knowing that completion is coming. And you get the gift of just becoming that person that you never thought you would be, an accomplished author. Buy your tickets. You will not be sorry.
Yeah. Shout out to the wonderful Candace Johnson Mackey. Love her to bits. Yeah, and I so appreciated having her at the Author Activation Weekend. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all, as you can see going across your screen, get your copy of the Pain to Prose Playbook at paintoprose.com, because everything that they learned at the Author Activation Weekend is in the book. It's in the book. They obviously got a little bit extra because we were together for 4 days and we had speakers come in as well. So there's that added benefit. But like the actual framework, the repeatable thing, that is in the book. So by all means, get that, get your copy of it. But in the meantime, in between time, I will catch y'all on the next round. Shout out to Miss Susie. I'll be in touch with you to get you your gift. And of course, JR, thank you for playing along as well. I'll get you your gift as well. But yeah, guys, I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. Thank you so much for rocking with me tonight and celebrating with me. Y'all heard the y'all heard the challenges, but we gonna keep pushing. We gonna keep pushing. We gonna adapt. We gonna adapt and keep going. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, y'all have a great and productive rest of your Thursday and a great and productive rest of your week. Peace. Love y'all.